All right, let's dive in. Today, we're taking a closer look at the Kia EV3 Earth,
The Kia EV3 Earth, yeah.
a compact electric SUV that's been making some waves.
Lots of buzz around this one.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
And you guys sent in a really interesting mix of sources for this one.
Oh, yeah?
We've got like a super detailed review from an Italian magazine.
Okay.
We've got some hardcore spec comparisons.
Nice. Getting into the nitty-gritty.
Exactly.
I like it.
And even a YouTube review from the Electronauti channel.
Oh, cool. So we can actually see this thing in action.
Yeah, see it, hear it,
Yeah.
get a feel for it.
Awesome. So with all that, I think we can really get a sense of whether this EV3 Earth lives up to the hype.
Right, like is this the electric ride for everyone?
Yeah.
Or, is it more niche? I'm really curious to find out.
Yeah, me too.
One thing that really caught my eye was that Italian review.
Oh, yeah.
They were so focused on comfort
Okay.
and specifically the highway driving experience, which, you don't see a lot of EVs praised for their long-haul comfort.
Right, yeah.
It's not usually their strong suit.
Not really, no.
So that was really interesting to me.
Yeah, that is unusual.
Yeah.
They kept using the term lounge-like to describe the interior, emphasizing how quiet it is, how well it's insulated from road noise, even at highway speeds.
Really?
Yeah, they even compared it to some luxury sedans that are known for their, super quiet cabins.
Wow.
Imagine, just cruising along, barely hearing the road, just feeling relaxed and comfortable.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, even on those, long journeys,
Right, because I'm someone who gets really stressed out by a lot of road noise.
Sure.
So that would be a huge selling point for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's funny because you always think of EVs as being primarily for city driving.
Yeah, that's the stereotype, right?
Exactly.
Zipping around town, short commutes.
But this EV3 seems like it's trying to break that mold.
It does, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
like they're saying, no, we can do long hauls too.
Yeah, and it's got that sleek, modern design, and they're really touting that low drag coefficient of 0.263.
Okay, so it's aerodynamic.
Very aerodynamic.
And I bet that helps with the quiet ride too, right? Less wind noise,
I would imagine so, yeah.
so it's efficient and it looks good.
It does. I like that combination.
Yeah, who doesn't?
But okay, let's talk about range because that's always a big question with EVs.
Yeah, the elephant in the room, right?
Exactly. Like how far can you actually go on a single charge with this thing?
So the Earth trim, that's the one with the bigger battery.
Okay.
It boasts a pretty impressive 605 kilometers of range
Wow.
based on the WLTP cycle.
Okay, and just to remind our listeners, WLTP, that's the standardized test they use to measure EV range.
Right, so it's not just some made-up number, it's a real-world estimate.
All right, yeah.
And to put that 605 kilometers into perspective, that's like driving from London to Edinburgh on a single charge.
No way. That's incredible.
Yeah, it even beats out some of his rivals in the range department,
Like who are we talking about?
like the Volvo EX30, the BYD Atto 3, the Cupra Born.
Oh, wow. So some serious competition.
Yeah, but the EV3 Earth seems to have the edge when it comes to pure range.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and even the YouTuber was surprised by that figure. I remember he specifically said something like, the range is excellent, especially for such a compact car, perhaps intended more for city use.
Right. It's like they're really going after those drivers who might be hesitant about going electric because of range anxiety.
Totally.
They want to do those longer trips, and they're not sure if an EV can handle it.
Yeah, but the EV3 Earth seems to be saying, hey, we got you covered.
Exactly.
And speaking of performance, we got to talk about that 204 horsepower motor.
Okay, 204 horsepower, that doesn't sound like a ton.
No, but it's more than enough to get this thing moving.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.5 seconds.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
It is. That's actually quicker than a lot of gasoline-powered compact SUVs out there.
So it's no slouch?
Not at all.
Plenty of zip for merging onto the highway or passing slower traffic?
Exactly. You won't be left behind.
Now, I do remember the YouTuber mentioning that it feels a bit less responsive in eco mode.
Right. Yeah, eco mode is all about maximizing efficiency.
Makes sense.
So you're going to sacrifice a little bit of that punchy acceleration.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's great that it has different driving modes, so you can choose what suits your needs at the moment.
Yeah, I like having those options.
Me too.
But, let's be realistic. No one wants to wait hours and hours to charge their EV.
Right. Charging time is a big deal.
Huge deal. So what kind of charging speeds are we looking at with the EV3?
Well, for home charging, it can handle 11 kilowatts AC charging, which is pretty standard.
Okay.
So you can just plug it in overnight and wake up to a full battery.
Perfect.
But for when you're on the go and need a quick boost, It supports up to 160 kilowatts DC fast charging.
That's pretty fast.
It is, yeah.
And how long would it take to charge from, say, 10% to 80% with that?
About 31 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad, no. Plenty of time to grab a coffee and a snack.
Yeah, exactly.
Stretch your legs.
Now, speaking of charging, I remember the EV3 has that regenerative braking system.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool feature.
The one that lets you drive with just one pedal, right?
Yeah. Some people love it. Some people take a little time to get used to it.
I've always been a bit skeptical, I have to admit.
It's definitely a learning curve.
But it's supposed to be really efficient, right? Like it helps you maximize your range.
It does, yeah, because it captures the energy that would normally be lost during braking.
Okay.
And the EV3 actually takes it a step further with this smart regenerative system.
What's that?
It actually adjusts the braking intensity based on the traffic flow.
Oh, wow. So it's like having an extra set of eyes on the road.
Exactly. It's kind of like a co-pilot, helping you navigate traffic and save energy at the same time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
So now I'm curious, what about the tech inside? What kind of goodies does the EV3 have to offer?
All right, so tech-wise, the EV3 is pretty well equipped.
Okay, good.
It's got a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster right in front of the driver,
Good.
and then a separate 12.3-inch touchscreen for infotainment.
Nice. So two big screens.
Yeah, plenty of screen real estate.
And what about like connectivity? Can you connect your phone, stream music, all that good stuff?
Oh, yeah, you can do all that.
Okay, good.
It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and if you want to really upgrade your entertainment options, you could even add streaming services like Netflix and Spotify.
Oh, wow. Now that's what I call a mobile entertainment hub.
It is. You could be stuck in traffic and just catch up on your favorite show.
Right. Make the most of that downtime.
Exactly.
Now, I do remember the YouTuber was really impressed with how responsive the infotainment system was. He was like, no more laggy screens or frustrating menus.
Yeah, it sounds like Kia has really stepped up their game in terms of software and user experience.
Good, because that can be a deal breaker for some people.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not all about the screens, right? There are some clever practical touches, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, I read somewhere that the trunk is super spacious.
It is, yeah. You get 460 liters of cargo space.
Wow, that's pretty generous for a compact SUV.
It is. And it expands to a whopping 1,250 liters when you fold the rear seats down.
So you can fit a lot of stuff in there.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of room for a weekend getaway or a big grocery haul.
And I also read that the center console can transform into a work desk.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious. It's like having a mobile office right in your car.
That's so cool.
Imagine pulling over during a road trip and having a dedicated workspace to catch up on emails or just enjoy a scenic lunch break.
That is seriously innovative.
It is. It's like they're really thinking about the different ways people use their vehicles these days.
Yeah, they're not just focused on getting you from point A to point B. They're thinking about the whole experience. And for those of us who live in colder climates, the EV3 comes equipped with a heat pump.
Okay, now that's a feature I'm always interested in because I know those can make a big difference in range during the winter.
They can, yeah, because they help keep the cabin warm and precondition the battery in cold weather, which can really improve efficiency.
Okay, so they've really thought of everything.
It seems like it.
But let's be honest, no car is perfect, right?
Of course not.
There have got to be some drawbacks to the EV3 Earth.
Yeah, there are a few things to consider.
Like what?
Well, one of the criticisms I've seen is the maximum DC charging speed. It tops out at 120 kilowatts.
Okay, and how does that compare to other EVs?
It's respectable, but some of its competitors can handle 200 kilowatts or more.
So it's not the fastest out there.
No, so those quick charging stops might take a bit longer compared to some other EVs.
Okay, so something to think about if you're someone who relies on public charging stations a lot. Another concern I had was the front-wheel drive setup. I remember reading about potential for wheel spin, especially during acceleration.
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind, especially if you live in an area with snowy or icy conditions.
Right, because front-wheel drive can be a bit trickier to handle in those slippery conditions.
Yeah, it can be.
Anything else that stood out to you as a potential drawback?
Well, the placement of the charging port. I've heard some complaints about that.
What's wrong with it?
It's located on the front right side of the vehicle,
Okay.
which can make it a bit awkward to plug in, especially in tight parking spaces.
Oh, I can see that being a pain.
Yeah, imagine trying to maneuver into a crowded charging station with that placement.
Not ideal.
Not really, no.
And then there's the issue of weight. I remember reading that the EV3 is a bit on the heavier side.
It is, yeah. It ranges from 1,800 to 1,885 kilograms, depending on the trim level.
And how does that affect things like efficiency and handling?
Well, weight is definitely a factor in both areas. A heavier vehicle generally requires more energy to move, which can potentially reduce its range, especially in stop-and-go city driving.
Right.
And it can also affect handling, making it feel a little less nimble and agile, especially when you're cornering at higher speeds.
So it's a bit of a trade-off. You get that long range and spacious interior, but it comes at the cost of some agility and potentially slightly lower efficiency in certain driving conditions.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right balance for your individual needs.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here in part one of our deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the EV3's impressive range, its focus on comfort and highway driving, and we've even started to unpack some of its potential weaknesses.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good overview so far.
But there's still much more to uncover, so join us in part two as we continue our exploration of the Kia EV3 Earth.
Definitely. There's more to come.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Kia EV3 Earth.
We're back.
In part one, we talked about that impressive range, that super quiet interior, and some of the potential drawbacks, like that charging port placement.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
We did. But now I want to dig into some of the finer details, like those highlighted in that YouTube review.
Okay, yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
So remember, the YouTuber was driving the Earth trim, the one with the bigger 81.4 kilowatt-hour battery.
Right, the long-range version.
And she mentioned something about the frunk,
The front, yeah.
or front trunk, as some people call it.
A little storage space under the hood?
Exactly.
What about it?
Apparently, it's not very big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said it was rather small, only 25
They're
liters.
tiny.
I know, not exactly ideal for hauling a lot of gear.
Yeah, you're not fitting a set of golf clubs in there.
Definitely not.
But she seemed happy enough with the rear cargo space.
Oh yeah, 460 liters. That's pretty good.
As decent, and it expands to 1250 with the seats down.
Right, so plenty of room for groceries or luggage.
Yeah, more than enough for most people's needs.
And she specifically mentioned that flat floor in the back, which is great for passenger comfort.
Oh yeah, no hump in the middle. Everyone gets legroom.
Exactly. No one's fighting for foot space.
It sounds like Kia really prioritized practicality in the EV3's design,
They did.
making sure it can handle everyday life.
Absolutely. And speaking of practicality,
Yeah.
did you catch that trick with the center console?
Oh yeah, the one that transforms into a work desk.
That's the one. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing. Like, seriously, who thinks of these things?
It's so clever.
It is. It's like having a mobile office right there in your car.
I know. Imagine you're on a road trip, you need to get some work done, you just pull over, boom, instant desk.
That is so convenient.
And she also mentioned the heated seats and steering wheel as a big plus.
Oh yeah, those are essential for those cold winter mornings,
Definitely a nice touch.
especially if you live somewhere with, real winters.
Okay, let's talk about the driving experience itself.
Okay, yeah. What's it like to actually drive?
The YouTuber went into a lot of detail about the different driving modes
Right, I remember that.
and that regenerative braking system.
I'm curious about that one-pedal driving feature.
Yeah, me too.
She said she actually tested it out in eco mode,
Oh, interesting.
and apparently the power delivery in eco mode is pretty restrained.
Yeah, that makes sense. Eco mode is all about efficiency.
So you're not going to get that neck-snapping acceleration.
Right, but if you want that, you can switch to sport mode.
Exactly, you have options.
She did mention a slight lag between pressing the accelerator and the car responding, though.
Oh, a little bit of delay.
Yeah, in eco mode, which I could see being a little annoying.
Sure, if you're used to that instant response, it might take some getting used to.
But she said it's less noticeable in the other driving modes.
Okay, that's good to know.
And she really seemed to enjoy the customizable My Drive mode.
Ah, so you can personalize the settings.
Exactly. You can tailor the car's responses to your driving style.
Nice, so you can make it feel just how you like it.
And I noticed she gave a shout out to the steering feel, describing it as not excessively light, which she seemed to prefer.
Interesting, so it's not like those super light, numb steering systems you find in some EVs?
It sounds like Kia has struck a good balance between feedback and comfort.
Yeah, making it feel engaging but not tiring.
Exactly, so you can really enjoy the drive.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's move on to the infotainment system, because I know that's a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah, gotta have those screens and gadgets.
From what I gathered, the EV3 system has gotten some significant improvements.
Oh yeah, like what?
The YouTuber was really happy with the increased responsiveness of the software.
Good, nobody likes a laggy touchscreen.
Right. It's so frustrating.
It is.
And those added apps like Netflix and Spotify really boost the entertainment value.
Oh yeah, you can have a full-on entertainment hub right there in your car.
Stuck in traffic, no problem. Just fire up your favorite show.
Exactly, make the most of that downtime.
And she also seemed to like the layout of the screens, the 12.3-inch digital cluster behind the steering wheel, and the separate 12.3-inch touchscreen for infotainment.
Ah, so they're not all crammed together on one screen.
Yeah, it's a clean, logical layout.
That's good. Keeps things easy to read and use.
And she specifically mentioned the physical buttons and knobs for climate control.
Oh, I like that. Sometimes those old school controls are just more intuitive.
I agree, especially when you're driving. You don't want to be fumbling with a touchscreen just to adjust the temperature.
Yeah, sometimes simple is better.
Yeah. Let's talk about charging, because that's always a key consideration with EVs.
Okay, how does it stack up?
The EV3 Earth can handle 11 kilowatts AC charging, which is pretty standard for home charging.
Right, so you can plug in overnight and be good to go in the morning.
Exactly.
And what about DC fast charging?
It supports up to 160 kilowatts,
Okay, not bad.
but the YouTuber did point out that the smaller battery version only supports up to 100 kilowatts.
Ah, so you do sacrifice a bit of charging speed if you go with the base model.
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
Makes sense.
Now, let's talk about range, because this is where things get interesting.
All right, let's hear it.
Remember that official WLTP range for the Earth trim? 605 kilometers.
Yeah, that's impressive.
But we all know real-world range can vary depending on driving conditions.
Of course, things like speed, temperature, all that plays a role.
Exactly. So the YouTuber was averaging about 14 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers in city driving.
Oh, wow. That's pretty efficient.
It is, but she did say highway driving will impact that figure.
Yeah, you're going to use more energy at higher speeds.
She noticed consumption creeping up to around 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers on the highway.
Okay, so not a huge jump, but still something to consider.
And remember, punti deboli reported even higher consumption at a constant 120 kilometers per hour.
Right, they said 22.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers.
So if you're consistently driving at those speeds, you're looking at a real-world range closer to 360 kilometers.
Still not bad, but yeah, quite a bit lower than that WLTP figure.
It's all about managing expectations, right?
Exactly, you got to be realistic.
And she also brought up a good point about cold weather.
Oh yeah, cold weather can really zap your range.
She said it's not uncommon to see a 10% to 20% reduction in range when it's cold.
Yeah, the battery has to work harder, and you're using more energy to heat the cabin.
Thankfully, the EV3 Earth has that heat pump.
Right, that should help mitigate some of those losses.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about safety.
Okay, what kind of safety features are we talking about?
The EV3 comes standard with a pretty good suite of advanced driver assistance systems.
The E-Days, right.
Exactly.
Like lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, all that good stuff.
Yeah, all standard.
That's great. It's becoming more and more common these days, but it's still good to see it as standard equipment.
Absolutely. And the YouTuber was impressed with how smoothly the lane keeping system worked.
Okay, so it's not too intrusive or jerky.
She said it was very unobtrusive, just kind of gently guiding you back into your lane.
That's good. You don't want those systems fighting you for control.
Exactly.
She did mention, though, that some of the ADAS features could be a bit sensitive.
Like what?
Like the lane departure warning. She said it was prone to false alarms, especially on narrower roads.
Yeah, I've experienced that with other cars. It can be a little annoying.
It can be, but thankfully most of those systems can be adjusted or even deactivated if you find them too bothersome.
Okay, good to know.
So you can customize it to your liking.
Now let's talk design, both inside and out.
All right, let's get visual.
The EV3 definitely has a distinct look, don't you think?
Yeah, it's got that opposites united design philosophy that Kia has been pushing.
Right, and it's very evident in the EV3's styling.
Yeah, those sharp lines, angular details. It's very modern, almost futuristic looking.
I love those vertical headlights.
Me too. They give it a really unique look.
Almost aggressive.
A bit, yeah, like it means business.
And remember that low drag coefficient we talked about?
Yeah, 0.263.
It not only helps with efficiency, but it also contributes to that sleek profile.
So it's aerodynamic and it looks good.
Best of both worlds.
Now, let's step inside, because the interior is where Kia's focus on practicality really shines through.
Yeah, the YouTuber described the cabin as airy and spacious.
I can imagine, especially with that half-tunnel design in the center console.
And I love those two-tone seats in the Earth trim.
Oh, yeah, those look sharp.
They add a touch of class.
Yeah, a little bit of luxury in an otherwise pretty minimalist interior.
And she seemed to like the overall layout, describing it as simple and linear.
Yeah, it sounds like they went for a clean, uncluttered design.
Which I appreciate. I'm not a fan of overly complicated dashboards.
Yeah, sometimes less is more.
But punti deboli did have some criticisms about the interior design.
Oh, really? Like what?
They said some might find it a bit too plain or lacking in personality,
Okay, I can see that. It's not the most exciting interior out there.
but it's functional.
Yeah, and some people prefer that. They want a straightforward, easy-to-use interior.
It's all about personal preference, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's wrap up this part by touching on build quality and reliability.
Okay, yeah, that's important.
Since the EV3 is a relatively new model, we don't have a lot of long-term data yet.
Right, it's too early to say for sure how reliable it'll be.
But Kia generally has a good reputation for reliability.
They do, yeah, and their 7-year warranty is a nice reassurance.
It shows they stand behind their product.
Definitely.
And from the YouTube review, it sounds like the build quality is solid.
Oh, yeah. No rattles or squeaks.
She didn't mention any, which is always a good sign.
It's a good indicator that they've paid attention to detail.
So as we wrap up part 2, what's the verdict so far? Is the EV3 Earth living up to the hype?
Well, I'd say it's a mixed bag. There's a lot to like. That impressive range, the comfortable and spacious interior, all those tech features. But there are also some quirks to consider.
Like that charging speed, the front-wheel drive, and the design that might not appeal to everyone.
Yeah, it's all about weighing the pros and cons against your individual needs.
Exactly. And in part 3, we'll do just that. We'll help you decide if the Kia EV3 Earth is the right electric vehicle for you.
Sounds good. I'm ready to make a decision.
Welcome back to our deep dive. It's the final part
The moment is truth.
of our Kia EV3 Earth deep dive. We've gone through the specs, the driving impressions,
All those cool features.
even that transforming center console.
That thing is awesome.
But now it's decision time. Is this the right electric SUV for you?
Well, let's recap what we've learned.
Yeah, let's break it down.
If you're looking for a long-range EV that really prioritizes comfort and practicality, the EV3 Earth definitely checked a lot of boxes.
It does.
Remember that 605-kilometer WLTP range? That's serious mileage. Enough to handle most road trips without any range anxiety.
And those Italian reviewers raved about that quiet interior.
Oh yeah, lounge-like they called it.
Makes you want to just hit the open road.
It does.
But as with any car, there are some compromises to consider.
Right, no car is perfect.
What are some of the things that potential buyers should keep in mind?
Well, that 120 kilowatt max DC charging speed, while it's not slow, it's definitely not the fastest out there.
Yeah, some of its rivals can charge much quicker.
Exactly. So if you're someone who's always on the go and relies heavily on public fast chargers,
Yeah,
those extra minutes at the charging station could start to add up.
that's a good point.
And while that spacious trunk and transforming center console are super practical,
It's super practical.
some people might find the overall interior design a little too plain or understated,
I can see that.
especially compared to some of the more visually striking EVs on the market.
It's all about personal taste, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Some people prefer a minimalist aesthetic,
Yeah.
while others want something a bit more flashy and bold.
It's all about finding the car that reflects your style.
Exactly what feels right for you.
So if you're someone who values a smooth, comfortable ride, prioritizes long range, and appreciates those clever practicality features,
The EV3 Earth could be a fantastic option.
Could.
But if you're someone who needs the absolute fastest charging speeds,
yeah,
craves a more head-turning design, or frequently drives in challenging weather conditions like snow or ice,
right?
there might be other EVs out there that better suit your lifestyle.
That's a good point. There are so many great electric car options available these days.
The market is booming,
It's really exciting. It feels like there's something for everyone.
definitely. And that's the beauty of it all.
It is.
The key is to do your research, compare the specs and features that matter most to you,
Right.
and maybe even test drive a few different models before making a decision.
It's always a good idea.
So, with all that in mind, I think it's time for our final thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit us with it.
Considering everything we've discussed about the EV3 Earth,
Yeah.
how does it stack up against its rivals in your mind? What are the deciding factors for you?
That's a great question for our listeners to ponder.
Yeah, what would make you choose this EV over another?
Think about your daily driving needs,
Your budget,
your personal style.
the features you can't live without.
We've given you the information, the insights, the expert opinions.
Now it's up to you to make a call.
Is the Kia EV3 Earth the right EV for you?
Only you can answer that question.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Kia EV3 Earth.
We hope you found it helpful.
Until next time, happy driving, everyone.